How to have their friends and neighbors and adventure seekers across the land and around the world. Well, today I figured I'd ride on out to the pond because, well, I've been getting a lot of questions lately, or well, a few anyway, wanting to know exactly what the heck is a Hawk 250. And, well, before we get too deep into what I think it is, why don't we go over what it's really not? It is a Chinese motorcycle, and the engine is based on a 1970s Honda engine called GS. It was originally designed for the Brazilian market because the Honda engineers and techs and everything went to Brazil, and they realized that there were really tough on bikes there. They had some really unpaved roads, as you'd expect, and they were really bad about maintaining their bikes. So they came up with this engine that needed very little maintenance and was dependable, that could go just about anywhere. And that's basically where this design came from. Of course, the frame and everything's a little newer model, than it would have been in the 70s, because technically they didn't even have a monoshock or a single rear shock back then. That didn't come out until the 80s. So they, Chinese guys, when the patents ran out, kind of modeled it after a few different types of Honda. Has pretty modern look with pretty much an 80s chassis, all steel, no aluminum in it, which makes it a little heavy, but it's definitely an affordable motorcycle. We're talking $1,700. Ordered through Amazon, delivered to your door for the carbureted version. The fuel injected version is going to cost you a little more, probably closer to $2,000. With that said, the way Amazon markets it is as a enduro, and I really don't think of it as an enduro, because, well, enduros, the term came out in the 60s, which basically meant a dirt bike with headlights and blinkers and mirrors and whatever. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a dirt bike with lights and mirrors and blinkers and the like. But by today's terms, enduro probably isn't the proper term for it. Today's enduros are more like the lightweight motocross bikes, and they have a lot more ground clearance. They have really long travel on the suspension, and this just really doesn't fit that category anymore. Most enduros today, the top enduro riders are all riding two strokes. There are still some guys riding 4 strokes in enduro, but the majority are 2 strokes. So honestly, it doesn't truly fit that definition, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't really like to call it an enduro. Can you use it for light enduro events? Sure, no problem. Enduro races, you're basically going from one obstacle to the next with little short bursts of fast areas in between. And the ground clearance on this really isn't great for large obstacles, especially the way this brake pedal sticks down below the frame. If you go over something big and hit that, it's going to hit your back brake. But anyway, so it's not exactly an enduro, but it isn't exactly a rally either. Although I'm going kind of the rally style with the, fairing and whatever, and I'm going to move this out, and I got my navigation stuff in there. It's not really a rally either. Much like the enduros, they're designed with, narrow seats, more dirt bike style, more motocross style, long suspension, and they have, the major difference there is they either have a road book in there or electronic road book or whatever for navigation. Because in rallies, well, you don't have any of the real obstacles like you do in enduro. It's more boom, going fast for long ways and navigating. Can this be used on a light rally race? Sure. So it could be a rally bike. Is it an adventure bike? Well, a lot of people say you can have an adventure on any bike, and I'm a firm believer in that. But is it one of those behemoths of the motorcycle off-roading world? No. With the big adventure bikes, we're talking 650cc and up, all the way up to like the BMW GS 1200, which is like a monster of a motorcycle. They're great on the highway. They got a long range fuel tank, and they can go forever, but they're honestly more road oriented than they are dirt oriented, in my opinion. I know there's going to be somebody out there riding a big old GS 1200 telling me how they did the Nevada BDR or something. I'm not saying they're not capable off-road, but I mean, on-road, they're like driving a Cadillac, So what does that leave us? Well, I guess when you buy it, totally stock, first thing, you unbox it, it's what I would call a relatively capable dual sport. But you can make it into anything you want it. And you can call it anything you want. I'm going, let's see, what am I going to call mine? I'm going to call mine Dual Sport Light Enduro Light Rally Ultra Light Adventure. How's that for what a definition? And that's what we're going to call it. Anyways, if you're interested in getting one, just check them out on Amazon. They're fun and they work, and you can make it into anything you want. Upgrades are cheap. Parts are cheap. I mean, you can make it into anything you want. So there you go. That's what it is, and that's what it isn't. So if you enjoy my videos, I just started one of those buy me a coffee thing. So if you want to support the channel, head on over to my go buy me a coffee page and buy me a coffee if you want. I don't make anything off of YouTube, so there you go. So if you want to do that, thank you. If you don't, hey, that's cool, dude. hey, go look at it. You don't have to do anything. I got things set up to where there's one-time donation, buy me a cup of coffee, or a little membership thing. Costs $2 a month if you want to support the channel, and that's it. $2 a month, then you can extra posts and all kinds of things on there that I'm planning on doing. So keep that in mind. If not, thanks anyways. Hit the like. That's the only thing that's mandatory. Hit the thumbs up. So have a great time on your adventures. Stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.